Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the farm. So today we've got another little project going on back here in the barn, working on getting the shop and the wood shop and the sugar shop put together. I don't know if you saw the video that I've done recently about flame finishing some wooden doors. I'll put one of those little tile links right here for you if you want to check that one out. So we got this door hung up already, but we have one more to do. So I used a torch to put this cool finish on to these slab doors, and then I sealed them with some satin polyurethane. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use the sliding door kit that I picked up at Menards. We're going to get the rollers mounted to the slab. We'll get the rail mounted to the wall over on the sugar shop on the other side of the barn. And well, we're just going to show you real quick how we do it. Well, I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. The first thing we did, we took a 1/2-inch drill bit and we drilled. We set our bracket here where we wanted it, marked it with a pencil, and then this drill bit is just slightly bigger than this hole, just so the bolt won't fight us going through. So we marked it with a pencil and we drilled our holes going through both here and on the other side. Now, if you pick up one of these, read the instructions, make sure that you're following I'm sure it will tell you what size drill bit to use, what the tolerances are and everything. So don't necessarily go off of exactly what we're doing here today. Make sure you read the instructions and find out exactly what you're supposed to use. Our rollers are on, the bolts are snug. Now we will take this over to the other side and figure out where to get the rail mounted. Now this part we're going to make real simple. So what Dad's doing right now is we have the door set here in the opening, roughly where we want it to go. He's measuring from the floor up to where the rail would sit with the door as is. And all we're going to do is we're going to add about 1 inch to it. And that's where we're going to put our rail. There will be an optical illusion going on. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the video, but this floor is not level. You can kind of see it there on the gap underneath our shiplap on the wall here. There's a pitch to this concrete floor. So you might notice at some point in the video that the floor not being quite in level makes the door not quite look in level, but it will be. Next, we have our mark. This is where we want the top of our rail to be. So we are going to drill a pilot hole because we're using these lag bolts. So these need a pilot hole. We will drill a pilot hole. We will get one hole anchored with the lag bolt and the spacer. The spacer spaces it off the wall. The lag goes through. The rail sits out on this surface. Then we'll put the level on it, the big long level, and that will tell us exactly where our rail needs to be for level. And once we have it sitting level, we can go ahead and use a pencil to mark our other circles. We'll come back with our drill bit. I believe we're using a 3/16 drill bit, and we will drill our pilot holes, and then we'll come back with the impact drill and drive in the leg bolts. So relatively simple, put in our leg bolts, going across. We'll have to slide our little stop off of here, and the door will just slip right on. And then there's a stop that goes on each end that has a little set screw on it. So you just slide it to where you need it to be, tension your set screw, and that's what will keep the door from sliding right off the rail. So you probably noticed slipping the door on just there that roller wasn't sliding. It wasn't an issue of installation. It's powder coated, and the powder coating is just so thick, it's really, really stiff. So I'm just gonna hit it with a little bit of grease, and even just moving it with my hand, I can feel it starting to loosen up. So I know at least one of you looked at that and thought, well, they must have done something wrong. It's screeching, not rolling across that thing. But the powder coat's just too thick on those cool gears, those gears that roll, and it's just super, super tight. So gonna hit it with a little bit of grease and a little bit of use, and I think we'll be rolling just fine. As expected, a little WD. Now we're rolling pretty. Now the last thing that we're going to do is here on the inside. So when this is open, you know, I don't want to have to grab the door every time. So what we're going to use is we're going to use this jig that's for installing doorknobs into slabs. So it comes with this jig here and a hole saw. And normally you would go all the way through the door, through the holes here, the pre-cut, the predetermined holes, and that's where your knob would go through, and then out here on the end, that's where your latch would go, where you would drill your hole for your latch. But what we're going to do is we're just going to go in a little bit with the hole saw and then come back with a chisel and take the wood out so we can install these little pockets. So that will sit perfect right in the door, so when the door is open, you can go in the pocket, pull the door shut behind you, or when you come through and the door is shut, you can pull the door open and not have to leave fingerprints all over the door, because these are workshops. I won't always necessarily be clean. That should have it. That should have it. And got it all chiseled out. Got it installed. See, it's just enough to grab to manipulate the door. Well, guys, that's going to do it for the sliding door install. Really easy. Probably it'd be a little tough to do by yourself. This is definitely a two-man job if you want it to go easy and smoothly. So I definitely would recommend having a second set of hands if you are going to try to do one of these. Probably wouldn't have been able to do it by myself, but there would have been a whole lot more moaning and groaning, maybe a tool thrown or two, maybe a little bit of, muttering under my breath. But the second set of hands made it a whole lot easier. So if you got any questions, leave it down in the comments. If you like the video, think about hitting that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more farm DIY type content. And until next time, y'all, we'll see you.